me just.
of the Hood River County Transportation District Budget Committee. And Tia, do you want to take roll call?
Yeah, she's ready.
Yeah, see, I'm so sorry. I don't have any more.
Daryl Roberts,
Here?
Megan Ramey,
Here.
Megan Larrabee,
Here.
Cindy. Here.
And the people.
Jeremy,
Sorry. Go ahead.
Jeremy Hull. Greg Pack.
And the other person that's not here, that's on the budget committee is Bridget. But we do have quorum, so we are good.
So that we got the roll call done then.
We do.
Okay. So then we need to approve the May 10th budget meeting minutes, which were included in the packet. And does anybody have any changes to be made to the minutes?
I recommend approval, first, seconded, whatever.
I'll second.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, and if we could get a second, that's maybe not Daryl, just
Somebody want to second the motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second. This is Megan Ramey.
So all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And was there another one? Megan,
Sorry, aye.
And chair votes aye. So everybody's received the updated budget message in the LB20 in your packet. Does anyone have any comments, questions for the staff or concerns? And I do have one question, but I'll defer to anybody else's question first.
And what I think I can do is I can go through the changes that were made. I highlighted them in my email, but I would like to go through them as well, just so everybody's in the loop. I highlighted them in red, and then maybe we could go to anybody's questions. So the unallocated beginning fund balance, I increased that because we were hoping to spend some funds to fix our air conditioning, which the ones in the room will know that it's not working because it's a little warm. And
Not too bad, actually. Maybe we should just reverse that and take that out of the budget.
so we did not spend that, so I was able to move it from this fiscal year over to next year's. And so that's why it's about 45,000 more than the original one. However, then you go down to building expenses and you see that I increased that by 45,000. I'm really hoping it's not that much. We did get an initial estimate of 60K, but we are working with, we're looking at other vendors to confirm that's really what is needed. Because this initial vendor, he wanted to completely replace all of our systems, whereas really it's just this one that is really not working. So we're looking for more estimates. So that's the reason for that. The administrative expenses, I updated that by a couple thousand based on Tamra's comment at the last meeting to make sure that there's enough for board
Stipend?
no, being able to go to conferences.
Um,
So that is the reason for that. And then for under administrative personnel wages, I did increase the wage as well as the administrative benefits. So as Daryl is aware, but you all are not yet, we recently learned since the last budget meeting that our medical insurance does not meet the requirements of an Oregon statute. that says that we have to be able to, we have to, offer early retirees who are not yet eligible for Medicare. We have to allow them the opportunity
To buy that.
to use our, be on our
use it.
insurance. We don't have to pay for it, but we have to
Right.
give them the option. And there's only a small amount of providers that actually offer this. So we were really required to do a certain insurance, and it's much more expensive than what our current one is. On the plus side, it is better. So that's the bright side for our employees. They are getting better benefits, but we are now required to spend more money, which we weren't originally expecting. So the reason why that is increasing our administrative wages as well as our benefits, here at the district, we have the opportunity to do health stipends, which means that we get a certain percentage, 70% of what the district pays for benefits. And you can get that as a stipend instead to go towards healthcare costs if you have insurance elsewhere. So it can't be Medicaid, but if, let's say, you have a spouse that has insurance that you're on, you can be on their insurance and then get a stipend.
Okay.
And if you are on a stipend, then it comes out of wages rather than benefits. And so that's why
Okay.
there's the changes for operations wages and benefits as well. And the employer tax has changed a tad just because I realized our equation, our formula was a little off, so I updated that and it was only about $4,000. And then our contingency, while it's not highlighted in red, obviously because of these more expenses, our contingency is reduced. I also did want to highlight that the reason why we are using some allocated funds is because of our vehicle match requirements for grants. Now, in my budget message, I updated that to show the specific grant match requirements that we have so that it was very clear. And our total,
No page number.
no, there are no page numbers. That would have been helpful for me. The second to last page. So we have a total of almost $175,000 in match requirements for grants that will be funding vehicle purchases or special projects. And we have a deficit, or we're using 89,000 of unallocated or reserve funds. So if we didn't have those vehicle match requirements, we would not have a deficit.
Okay, can you show me where that is right now?
Yeah,
Oh, one more.
right here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you'll see that has, and for Megan on the phone, I'm just showing the specific match requirements that are listed for the capital grants.
Thank you.
Even if you
Sounds good.
took out the special projects, there would still be the main reason for going into the unallocated funds is due to the vehicle match. All right, and then any questions?
Well, I have one.
Okay, Daryl, go for it.
You, in your message, you mentioned that as part of the federal funding, I think you're expecting some CARES Act funds.
Yes,
Is that still the case since the debt ceiling agreement has pulled back a lot of the COVID funds?
yeah, so I have, I just talked to ODOT about it last week and,
Get it?
or still get it. The funds have, but that's also why there's a short timeline. So the funds have been allocated to ODOT. But if ODOT doesn't allocate those funds by June 30th, then that's when,
Oh, so they've already got the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
but the concern is if they don't allocate it by June 30th, then they might lose the funds. That's why there's this really big push and why we only really had about 2 weeks to apply for the funds.
Okay.
So that is,
But you did, and you're in line
Well, it's due next week, and I will be applying for it.
Oh, good.
Even if I need to work a little extra, it'll be done.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So, and we're just kind of more or less finalizing it at this point.
Okay,
But the purpose of it is to ensure that all potential or
Yeah.
all vehicle repairs that we were dipping into our
Yeah.
unallocated reserve is covered. Which it is eligible for that because the reason why it's so much is because we can't get new vehicles. Or we've had a hard time getting new vehicles, so there's more repairs. And then also the cost of labor and parts has gone up. So,
you need the money.
yes, and starting July 1st is our new biennium. And the increased salary rates was reflected in those grants. So starting July 1st, I'm not concerned about the cost of salaries. However, this current biennium, because of all the increased salaries, we were relying on CARES funds to help mitigate the impact
Okay,
financially.
okay, and Karis doesn't get delivered until July 1.
Well,
So you just have to
sorry,
have to
the
save
new,
it.
the
Yeah.
new biennium,
Mhm.
so the 21-23 biennium. When we applied for those funds for those grants,
Mhm.
we did not know that we were gonna have to increase our salary wages.
Got it, okay,
However, we needed to in order to retain staff, as well as to repair vehicles, et cetera, et cetera.
yes.
So CARES funds has helped kind of mitigate
Mhm.
the impact of increasing our salaries. Or the driver's salary specifically, to the district's unallocated funds. Does that make sense?
It made sense now.
All right, cool.
I didn't get it the first time.
Yeah.
But this is new stuff.
Well, and it's, I won't lie,
It's tricky stuff.
it's tricky and confusing, and I'm really excited to get to a point where it's a little more simplified. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Daryl, any follow-up questions to that?
Any additional questions? Okay, then now is the opportunity for public comment regarding the 2023-2024 budget. Do we have any public that wants to?
We have no
Okay.
public here.
But we do have 2 Megans.
We have two Megans.
Okay, then, it's time to approve the fiscal year 2023-24 budget and tax rate. We're going to take the committee approval of the budget and tax rate one at a time.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I did forget to mention it,
Yeah.
because I think this was a question that Megan Larrabee had at the board meeting. There was an executive session that the board members discussed a couple of things. And based on that conversation, I did add a little bit of buffer to the operations wages as well, so.
Okay.
So it included the extra expense because of benefits, but also because of this executive session discussion.
Okay. So that's what we see in 47, 48, or 48, 49, and 50.
Some of, yeah, I mean, it's a
Okay.
combination
It's
of
a
the
combo.
benefits and this, but there was just a little bit of buffer I added based on the conversation
Okay.
in executive session. Okay. Sorry, Daryl, I'll let you continue. I just realized I didn't
So-
mention that.
Would anybody on the committee like to make any changes to the LB 20? Or is the committee ready to send this budget on to the board as their approved budget recommendation? If so, can I get someone to make a motion to approve this as the committee's recommendation to the board? And can someone second that?
I'll make that motion.
Oh, good, I'll second it. Which one is that?
Does anyone have any changes they
Rainy.
want us to consider? Apparently not. All in favor, say aye,
Aye. Aye.
and chair votes aye. Staff is not making any recommendations to change the tax rate and is recommending that the budget committee approve the tax rate of 0.0723 per 1,000. Can I get a motion to get someone to make a motion to approve the existing tax rate of 0.0723 per 1,000?
I'll move. So,
And can someone second? Somebody please second.
I'll second.
A second.
Does anyone have any changes they want us to consider? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unless there is any other issues or concerns, we can adjourn this meeting.
So we do have,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, good. I was trying to count the heads.
Yeah.
So is someone willing to make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, wow,
I'll make a motion to adjourn the budget meeting.
5:20.
And is there a second?
Second,
A favor?
I.
Aye.
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 Oh, and chair votes aye.
Good, nice job.
Meeting is adjourned.
5:20. Yeah, we have.
All I had to do was read this piece of paper.
Can you use these again?